I have the Standard newspaper with me, and a lot being covered here: politics, human interest stories, and all that. So, Raila 10 tough demands for Ruto is the headline on the Standard newspaper. And it's the first major public engagement after the 9th August polls yesterday, when Raila Odinga, the Azimio principals, were addressing the public and demanding that some of the promises that were made by the Kenya Kwanza administration must be implemented. Among some of the issues that Raila, or the Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Alliance, is pushing for the Kenya Kwanza administration to implement is the fact that to reinstate the 4 IEBC commissioners before embarking on an inclusive and consultative process for reconstituting the IEBC. So if you remember, the issue of the 4 IEBC commissioners has been making headlines, with 2 of them already having resigned, with a tribunal formed to investigate them in as far as handling of the 9th August general election results are concerned. So that is one of the demands by the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance. They are also complaining that the recent appointments by the president, that is the PSs and the cabinet secretaries, do not reflect the face of Kenya. So that in itself, they say that it should ensure that composition of civil service reflects Kenya's ethnic, regional, religious, and gender diversity. And again, the issue of GMOs still making headlines, with the opposition saying that it should not be allowed in the country, and restore the Kazi Mtaani program while pursuing other options such as affordable housing. Also, the Hustler Fund is one of the issues that the Kenya Kwanza wants addressed in as far as the interest is concerned, saying that some Kenyans might not be able to afford to pay the interest, which is at 8%. On page 3 of the Standard newspaper, the Kenyatta National Hospital CEO did appear before the Senate, before the Committee on Health, and was giving evidence and what is emerging in as far as the, if you remember the story about the child who had a fork jembe lodged in his head and died. So they were giving evidence in as far as handling of that case, given that there was an uproar on how the matter was handled and until the baby died. But the CEO, that is Dr. Kamuri, told the committee that they suspect that it was a domestic issue and not that the child was injured when they were playing with other children. So it's emerging that the father could be responsible for the death of that child, and even the lodging of the fork jembe on his, in his head, because according to Dr. Kamuri, in this particular story, he says that the mother did cry uncontrollably, actually saying that she could have been the one who could have died, and that in itself was a telltale signs that there was more to the death of the child than just what was reported. So that story is being covered here in the Standard newspaper. We also have by-elections happening in Bungoma today. Remember that the senator, the former senator, that is the Speaker of the National Assembly now, that is Moses Wetangula, did pave way for the by-election, which is happening today. And among the people who are battling it out for the Senate position in Bungoma County are former Bumula Member of Parliament Mwambu Mambonga, who is contesting on the UDA ticket, from Ford Kenya candidate Wafula Wakoli, also there. Kandui Member of Parliament, former Kandui Member of Parliament Wafula Munyinyi on the DAP party is also contesting. So we'll be following up for you that story on the by-elections which are happening across the country. Other areas where the by-elections are happening are at Elgeyo Marakwet, senatorial to replace Kipchumba Murkomen, definitely Bungoma senatorial to replace Moses Wetangula, Kandera MNA to replace Kandara that to replace Alice Wahome. So those by-elections are going on right now, but we'll be able to bring you more details as our reporters are already on the ground. We want to take a short break right now, but we'll still be back with more in the headlines.